of these lovebirds.
Oh yeah,
engaging in the sale of what? Coconut.
Yeah. And I think it's a wonderful thing.
Actually, my name is Samuel Kofume. I'm locally known as Nyameche, Kofi Nyameche, yes, please. I'm from Mabrodunka, let me say, but I was born in Eastern region, sorry. That is Achem, yeah.
My name is Amwako Esther. I am 22 years. I completed Tridium Senior High School. I was working with Grand Mall at Peki.
China for Grand Mall.
Even on the streets, Esther Amwako and Samuel Kofi Mensah don't conceal their mutual love. They are just 22 and 24 years old, respectively.
True.
They have both completed senior high school, but were unable to continue because of financial difficulties. But how did Esther and Samuel meet?
Actually, I was having a best friend then when I was staying at Asafo. So my best friend was dating her younger sister. So I saw a post or a picture of them together, and then I told the girlfriend that, oh no, this is your senior sister, I want to be with her. And she was like, some nigga did something bad to her, so she doesn't want to date again. Then I talked to her and said, oh, okay, for me, I will let you have belief in men.
The one with the penalty say, or you hard work or pay Juma. I did be a disca baby away.
I like him because he's hardworking. He does everything he can for a living. He also treats me so nicely.
A strong relationship requires choosing to love each other, even in moments when you struggle to love yourselves.
Nyameche has been with me through thick and thin. I don't like keeping sugar daddies. We do not know the source of your wealth, and these sugar daddies can kill you.
Both of them worked with two different organizations. Samuel received 400 cedis, whereas Esther had an income of 750 cedis. But as the love bears were getting much stronger in strengthening their financial capabilities, a storm hit. Both were fired the same day.
And one sad truth was, when I was laid out from the company, my wife was, my girlfriend was also laid out the same very day. She was also laid out, and then the story was so sad. The story was she was given 272 cedis for laying her out, and then me, I wasn't given anything, so I wasn't having any penny in my account. And then I talked to my woman, my girlfriend, and then she was like, oh, so what are we going to do about this? I wasn't having anything in my account. My momo, I was even owing MTN momo. I was owing them. And then the girl was having 230 in her account. And then she was giving that 272 too. So, father. So in surplus, she was having 402 cedis or something, and then due to that, we just need to withdraw the money so we can start with new business.
They dedicate a lot of their time on the streets selling coconut to further their education.
We're planning and then helping each other so we can save more to further her education. She says she wants to further to nursing training or nursing college or something. But then I prefer university because that one is a degree, not a diploma. So, Nana.
Some men are say, yeah, brain. Say, see, my immune. Shall I give me a ma? There be every
If things become better for us, Nyameche should not make any mistake of betraying me. I would not want to see him go in for another woman. We have struggled together.
Sorry, infinity to cry. Nyameche.
Jamai. But for me, no, because I'm willing even to die for this lady. I actually like her and I love her so much. I would never, and this will be a testimony. This will be actually one of the biggest testimony ever in the world. I'm gonna worship with her. I will actually marry her so soon, very soon, before she even continues her education. And then I promise her firstly, so I'm not gonna like go just beyond or go out of that business.
Though their relationship is only 3 years old, the lady says it is more profound to help her man to grow in wealth than to drain him into poverty.
It is said that loving and being loved unconditionally means taking a leap of faith. So the measure of love is to love without measure.
That is why Esther and Samuel have been lovers unconditionally, and the greatest gift they want to give each other is the space to be themselves without the threat of any of them leaving. A report by Mohammed Nuruddin.
Actually, my name is Samuel Kofi Mensah. I locally known as Nyameche, Kofi Nyameche, yes, please. I'm from Mabrodunka, let me say, but I was born in Eastern region, sorry. That is Achem, yeah.
My name is Amwako Esther. I am 22 years. I completed Tridium Senior High School. I was working with a Grand Mall at Peki.
China for Grand Mall.
Even on the streets, Esther Amwako and Samuel Kofi Mensah don't conceal their mutual love. They are just 22 and 24 years old respectively.
2020, 56% of the reported fraud cases involving staff. So we are talking about more than half of the reported fraud cases involve staff of the various banks and other financial institutions. And in all, the total value of reported fraud cases by financial institutions for 2020 amounted to, listen, 1 billion cedis. This is up from 115 million cedis recorded in 2019. And the explanation is that this is also representing some 773% increase in the reported fraud cases in the various financial institutions across the country for the year 2020. It's a pretty terrible story. And when you break it down, some of them are because of POS usage. Some of them are because of how people misrepresented information. And the worst part is when banking staff support the fraud involved in this. I mean, it sounds like, okay, if people from outside are doing it, then we can say that it's outside the control. But the people who are supposed to be taking charge of your money in the various financial institutions are themselves supporting the fraudulent activities in this case. It's a bit worrying. And 56% of them, as according to what the people has put out there. This is in the Bank of Ghana's report. So Bank of Ghana published a report for 2020. And that's what's revealing all of that. Let's still stay with the Bank of Ghana. So the Bank of Ghana went to arbitration with Sipton Switch contract. And if you've been following this show, that contract was discussed bigly here. We brought you the details of how some amount of money were being lost to the state in all the forms. And again, when the Bank of Ghana cancelled the 4.6 billion contract, the people went for arbitration. And Bank of Ghana says that it has actually come out as the victorious side in that particular engagement. Well, that's also on the front page. But Ghana can still borrow from us. IMF is the one telling us in the Republic of Ghana, maybe we need to borrow to be able to build the Agenda 111. because now we sure should be able to make it clear how the money will come in. Not because we hope we can make it, but we need to do it clearly. Because the project there, so far as you have promised, you have to deliver. In the period you said we'll do it. Regardless of what
I'm talking about Agenda 111.
Yes.
Today on State of Play.
Yes.
It's Agenda 111.
Yeah.
Fixing the health sector. Or mere sloganeering.
Yeah.
Yes. 2:30.
So the question is simple. Is this really going to happen? Or is going to be another slogan? Which slogans come to mind? Me, one that's bigly on my mind is 1 million per constituency.
Oh, 1 million per constituency. Yes.
Yeah.
That one is also on my mind.
It's very, you know, government promised to build theaters in some regions in the 2016 manifesto. There are things in that manifesto.
Oh, there are a lot of things.
Oh, they are very wonderful things.
You remember?
Which never saw the light of day.
One village, one dam.
Yes. Oh, some dugouts. The minister explained that the money that was given her, no, it can only do the dugouts. Anyway.
I mean, we also know of, the one district, one factory.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron and Co are the ones who recently left school. The tertiary education institutions and their related institutions, that's the senior high schools, did they get their free Wi-Fi? Yeah, it's also something.
Very important question. Let me get to the Business and Financial Times that says.
Are there promises there?
Well, a few. Not much.
Anyway.
Not much. TUC's assessment of mid-year budget, BOG wins arbitration against Sipton Switch. UCC abandons 79 million worth of IGF-funded projects.
Okay.
And BOG upbeat on inflation outlook despite fiscal risk. And ShopRite rejects Momo payment despite BOG's cashless drive.
Now, the Ghanaian Times is reporting this morning, Ghana, home of business investment in Africa, president to German investors, and AG goes to Supreme Court seeking review of decision on Oponi, and this is to do with Justice Hoyanyuga. And we also have one that says, we will deal with misguided separatists in Volta, OT regions, Lieutenant Colonel Apia. This is to do with your friends. Papa V.
Papa V.
Yeah, Papa V and his people.
Papa V. Kujoji.
Yeah, recently I heard that they've been charged with something again. I was, come on.
Papa V.
Anyway,
it's okay. The Daily Guide.
Why you want to establish your relations with Papa V?
I don't know him.
I want to be
I
clear.
haven't seen him before.
Because you can't be friends with separatists. You're almost like separatists anyway.
No, I don't know him. I mean, I grew up in Ho. I never met Papa V. While I was there.
But it looks like it's close enough, right?
I mean, Papa V. Well, Ho was originally a part of the British Togoland. Yes, but Papa V comes from an area that was not part of the British Togoland.
Yeah.
So you ask yourself, why is he the one to lead this? If there's any justification at all. Daily Guide says, Abesim cannibal case, two's intestines found on farm. And Opuni ruling bad in law, AG to Supreme Court, $36 million meters fraud lands on special prosecutor's desk. And BOG flaws Sipton Switch at London arbitration.
No, now the Ghanaian Times is also reporting a story that you should be interested in. Driver in court over death of a woman. The driver, who's a 48-year-old Noah Boateng, he's been charged with careless and inconsiderate driving, leading to the death of a woman at Taifa. I saw one in New York where a similar inconsiderate driving. They are rather charging a guy with murder, because to them it should be elevated to the level where you are dealt with for killing because you did reckless engagements that resulted in the death of the person. Not just, what looks like a very mild attempt to deal with you. Anyway, but that's in the Ghanaian Times too.
Let's get to Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 10. Whoever loves money never has enough. Whoever loves wealth is never satisfied with their income.
Yeah. For unconditional love, this particular expression is very good from the Bible.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm talking about unconditional love. You can get it onto our Facebook page and get to watch that video, okay? That video of the young man and woman who have fallen in love and they're doing a business together, selling coconut. You should see it. And, share your thought with us. Get onto Joy 997 FM and get to watch that.
And one is not bossing. You can see that they have a relationship of almost like equals, right?
Yeah.
So one is not acting like I'm the boss, you are the subordinate, that kind of thing.
Anyway, let me get to the splash on the Chronicle. Afeku must account for 200,000 Marine Drive cash, says Ensign Paramount Chief and Elders. And, well, if you want a bit of detail, it says that Ensign Traditional Council in the Western Union, they've denied the receipt of any of 200,000 cedis allegedly given to chiefs in the right to celebrate the Kundum festival, and called on the government to exhaust all legitimate avenues to make sure the former Minister of Tourism and Creative Arts, Catherine Afeku, accounts for the money.
It's for the Marine Drive project.
Yes.
I see.
It was used to support Kundum.
When are we going to do that project? It's been since the 90s.
Yes.
And we recently were told that the almighty David Ajayi had taken over with some architectural drawing that was very impressive, taken over from the previous people who were supposed to be in charge of it.
Okay.
But still, it has not been built. I'm not sure when we are going to build it.
Okay, let me get to another stories.
It
Fishes
looks
and
like you are
aquaculture.
moving on very fast. You don't want to say when it's going to be built.
Well, yesterday I made a point.
That
I
is
said
going to be
that-
built which year?
No, I said that in our part of the world,
Uh-huh.
we know everything that we have to do.
Yeah, we don't do
But
it.
when you talk about when is it going to be done, government will join you in the complaint. And so it's like all the time we
But this one, they don't need land. We secured the land long time
I'm
ago.
telling you, so we explain problems. We don't
Yeah.
solve problems in our part of the world.
Ah, okay.
We explain them, so government will join us in complaining.
All right.
Choba operators seize Pokwasi interchange. I told they've been arrested. Fisheries and aquaculture play a significant role in job creation. That's according to the chief of staff.
Now, the New Crusading Guide is reporting this morning NPP is protecting the public purse. This is the NPP talking about this particular incident, and it's urging the OSP to retrieve stolen funds from former government officials because this government is really not misusing the funds anyway. Bamia NPP promised higher purchase policy for Okada riders, not free cars. Razak Kojopoku is the one clarifying the MPP. This Okada conversation where the MPP said that we will not keep you as Okada riders. We will elevate your life and give you cars. So it's higher purchase. So apparently the hope is that they still get them. People ask the question, so can't away.
Car in their car away.
Yeah, that access. So can't away. The Okada people want to transform into getting the car, but it looks like the promise now.
They're asking.
It is not delivering itself.
Car away.
The promise will not deliver itself. Or you think that government will join us to
Oh,
complain?
they'll join us to complain.
Because that one, we can't do anything about it. It's they made the promise.
They'll join us to
They
complain.
didn't co-join us in the promise.
They'll join us to complain. COVID.
Okay, COVID.
Now we've moved from it's the work of the devil to it's COVID.
So principalities, they are related to COVID.
Everything is COVID.
Or the
these
demons
days.
too.
Everything is COVID. these
Anyway,
days.
Tema shipyard boss under fire as workers demand his expulsion. Achuma Kwangma South MCE admits failure. That's on the front page of the New Crusading Guide.
And the Daily Graphic says Abesi murder victim's body parts assumed. Please begin prosecution. Camera captures 252 offenders. And we're told there are some 3,000 surveillance cameras at major intersections in the country. So if you are engaged in any road traffic offense, you'll be picked up. And state-owned enterprise governance.
Is there
CEOs
camera at Pokwasi?
There should
The
be.
new interchange. There's camera there.
I'm sure. There should be. I don't know.
There
for a
should be
fact.
or there's camera there.
There should be.
Yes. So it didn't see the fufu pounding people.
Question for the gods.
Ah, well.
State-owned enterprise governance, CEO board positions to go public. That's a question. We're told that the state interest and governance authority is saying that's something they're thinking of and that's something they want to do so that people would then apply for these positions. And then a list is submitted to the president to make a choice. Pokwasi interchange Choba operators arrested. And back page, solving yearly dam spillage, flooding, 7 communities to be resettled. Zoomlion launches greening beautification of Ashanti. So, this Bagri dam spillage thing, we'll be having a conversation about it today. Now, we are now being told that they're going to settle communities. Okay, we'll come back to this shortly.
Now, salaries and conditions of service of teachers are historical notes. That's a response from Kabila to Professor Jampo, and that's on the front page of the Daily Statesman. Together with government to review fisheries and aquaculture policy. There's one about BOG saving 2.6 billion. That's also on the front page of the Daily Statesman too. Those are papers on the stand today.
An online news review brought to us by Zenith Bank. In your best interest, Goyle Good Energy and Enterprise Life, no matter how much you make for a living. Enterprise Life has life solutions carefully crafted for you. Enterprise Life, your advantage. And Goyle high-grade fuels have been tried, tested, proving and accepted over the years as most suitable for all engine types, including the latest vehicles with the most modern engines. In addition to these superior qualities, Goyle higher-grade fuels are further fortified with the SP3 additive multifunctional enhancer, making it more efficient, eco-friendly, and sold at no extra cost. Goyle higher-grade fuels come in Goyle Super XP Run 95 and Diesel SP, sold in every Goyle station and not just selected stations. Fill up with Goyle higher-grade fuels at Jibebia, Goyle Good Energy, Goyle. Time now for the BBC News. And when we return after the BBC News, we'll do some of your messages on that video. Brought to us by Fidelity Bank, Believe With Us, and Sefi Brothers.
This is true.
They have both completed senior high school but were unable to continue because of financial difficulties. But how did Esther and Samuel meet?
Actually, I was having a best friend then when I was staying at Asafo. So my best friend was dating her younger sister. So I saw a post or a picture of them together, and then I told the girlfriend that, oh no, this is your senior sister, I want to be with her. And she was like, some nigga did something bad to her, so she doesn't want to date again. Then I talked to her and said, oh, okay, for me, I will let you have belief in men.
The mama de penalty stem say, or you hard work or pay Juma. I did be a disca baby away. I
like him because he's hardworking. He does everything he can for a living. He also treats me so nicely.
A strong relationship requires choosing to love each other, even in moments when you struggle to love yourselves.
Nyamecha has been with me through thick and thin. I don't like keeping sugar daddies. We do not know the source of their wealth, and these sugar daddies can kill you.
Both of them worked with two different organizations. Samuel received 400 cedis, whereas Esther had an income of 750 cedis. But as the love bears were getting much stronger in strengthening their financial capabilities, a storm hit. Both were fired the same day.
And one sad truth was, when I was laid out from the company, my wife was, my girlfriend was also laid out the same very day. She was also laid out, and then the story was so sad. The story was she was given 272 cedis for laying her out, and then me, I wasn't given anything, so I wasn't having any penny in my account. And then I talked to my woman, my girlfriend, and then she was like, oh, so what are we going to do about this? I wasn't having anything in my account. My Momo, I was even owing MTN Momo. I was owing them. And then the girl was having 230.
Today we hear the story of one woman who fled